I learned about a looksmaxxer called Androgenic. And I learned about him because a clip went viral where he accidentally misgendered a trans person and then apologized. It went pretty viral. It has 32 million views. And I just want to, like, you know, talk about this. I did react to a video from Very Ultraviolet who was talking about androgenic versus clavicular. I reacted to it, but I didn't really like turn it into a video because I actually wanted to talk about this myself. But you should like check it out if you want to learn more about like the incel space and how clavicular got owned in this one interview.
I didn't have time to look into, you know, anything about who your wife cheated with, but don't try to go down that line of questioning.
I'm not married.
Let me just like play this clip. It's just 17 seconds.
Yeah, sure. Awesome.
I love you.
Cheers, man.
Look at his face. The moment of realization. The moment of genuine concern.
I'm sorry, by the way. I didn't mean to call you a man. I did not mean to do that.
I don't mind.
I'm sorry. I'm very sorry about that. But have a lovely night.
The thing is, like, when you say something like, oh, cheers, man, hey, bro, and so on, it is masculine language, right? Like, we can say that this is not gender-neutral language. The fact that people believe it is gender-neutral language is because it's just being seen as, like, women or, like, femme-presenting people in general should be included in the masculine terms, while the feminine terms are seen as just for femme-presenting people. In this instance, I wouldn't say it as like, oh, this is misgendering, but like at the start of transitioning and so on, I also had issues when people always called me bro. I even had like a rule in my Twitch chat that like, hey, you shouldn't like refer to me with like these masculine terms because it makes me feel kind of bad. I thought this was a pretty wholesome moment, and I also had like an encounter myself in Valorant that is like kind of similar, and I thought that is also very sweet when people catch themselves saying these masculine terms and it's like, oh, I'm talking to a trans person, I should change this, I should correct myself.
Are you in the LGBTQ?
I am, yes.
What are you?
I'm many things.
I'm intrigued.
Why is that?
Every new person you meet is a whole new adventure.
And you want to explore me?
I mean, no, it's in some way, yeah.
Interesting.
So what's the content?
I'm a trans woman and I'm pansexual.
I'm happy for you, man. Woman. No, I just see man for everyone, man. No offense, no offense.
I get it, it's okay. That was kind of adorable.
If you don't mind me asking, wait, how old are you?
I'm 29.
Wait, just out of curiosity, wait, are you into younger or older?
I'm just like always thinking, it's like, would this situation have played out if I was a cis woman? Maybe, but probably not. And I just want to be seen like cis women do, but everybody is, you know, a little bit different. That's just like personal preference. And I think it's kind of sweet when people are like, oh, I used this language, I used masculine terms to talk about this trans woman. This might make her feel bad. I have been misgendered before and people correct themselves, they catch themselves. What I don't like is when people keep bringing attention to it, when they make a big deal out of it. If it's like she, and then you move on, then it's like, okay, I will just keep talking, like, you know, nothing happens. But like, I have been misgendered before, and then it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you he. I actually meant she. And that's like, okay, you know, just move on. We don't have to like turn this into a scene. And I also don't like the idea that talking to me is...
Shut the f up.
And I also don't like the idea that talking to me requires everybody to be extremely cautious. I don't want people to walk on eggshells. I like it when people gender me correctly, and if you slip up, which happens also for cis people, then just correct yourself and move on. If you actually hurt somebody's feelings and you can like tell that they feel bad, you can, you know, apologize. But like most of the time, people just appreciate it if you correct yourself without everybody bringing attention to it, because it kind of puts you on the spot and it's kind of awkward. I had that when I started transitioning, when I came out, that I had people misgender me and they knew that I was trans. So they did like the thing of like, I'm sorry, I meant she. It's just like anytime I hear your voice, I just can't stop but imagine a man like all of the time. Every time I just like see you, I just see a man. It's so difficult for me to use the right pronouns. It's like, okay, now I feel like shit. That just sucks. I also had like another encounter that I turned into a short that was like this one that I can like talk about. That's, you know, like the opposite side, which is like, okay, now you're kind of making it weird and you're kind of being a dick. I don't understand why it's so difficult for cis people to talk to trans people like normal human beings. Orange cat.
I'm not gonna answer you in fucking meows or anything.
Is that actually you making those sounds, or is it just a cat?
No, it's her.
It's me.
Or him. Or,
my God, I love it.
or whatever you are, bro. I don't even... Microwave. Sorry, I panicked.
What gender are you, Clove?
I'm a woman.
That was you and Phoenix doing so far. Or whoever you are doing up with. If you're even doing up with someone. Yo, I don't even know how to talk to you at this point, bro. Like, I would call her homie, but then she sounds like a man, and then she sounds like a woman. And
Oh
then
my
she's
God.
I feel like you should have just like stopped talking.
Bro, I'm sorry. I don't know what to identify you as.
A woman. She's a woman.
Well, she says she's a woman, but she sounds like a man. I'm very confused. In the entire like match of like 15 minutes, he couldn't stop. He always had to like bring attention to it. He always had to like, you know, make this awkward. He compared me to some SCP creature. And you'd be surprised how frequently situations like this happen in real life. This is not just a video game thing, right? I'm just using this as like an example of a situation that has occurred to me in real life as well, where people are just incredibly confused. They ask you for your pronouns or what you identify as, and you're like, I go by she, her, I'm a woman, and so on. But it still doesn't like process in their mind to just like view you as a woman. So it makes it incredibly clear how they perceive you. If they see you as other, if you perceive you as just a man, and it's making things so much more painful. This is kind of like why I don't really engage with people if they ask me for my pronouns. Because a lot of times when guys ask me for my pronouns, they will just do like the he, I mean she type of situation. I actually have a shot of that. I'm not entirely sure if I can like find it.
What are your pronouns?
Doesn't matter.
I don't want to be offensive.
I use she, her.
Do you have a ghost skin, Clove?
I think she does. Someone help Clove. He's the one with, she.
Just for context, the entire game, at the start of the game, they didn't use any pronouns. There's no reason why this guy suddenly needs to answer for me and like insert himself in conversations. And I posted this on Instagram, and there were so many people being like, at least he's trying. You do sound like a man, so at least he's trying. And it's like giving transphobes the benefit of the doubt, because either they are transphobic themselves and they just want to normalize this behavior and like justify it, or because they are not transphobic, or they don't want to be transphobic, but they put themselves into the shoes of the cis person instead of my shoes, my experience, and they try to find justifications for why he would act like this. So just so you know, there were no pronouns before, but then suddenly they did that. And every single time I upload a short where somebody asks me for my pronouns and I say, call me whatever you want or whatnot, I will have people in my comments be like, why don't you just like tell them because of this?
What are your pronouns?
Doesn't matter.
I don't want to be offensive.
I use she, her.
Do you have a ghost skin, Clove?
I think she does. Someone help Clove. He's the one with, she.
This is why I don't just like tell people my pronouns. This is why I'm giving like snarky comments of like, oh, why does it matter? They just want to ask in order to like offend me in particular. This is why I don't answer these types of questions. I know how the games work. Are you femboy, Clove? Clove, am I muted? I like femboys. I think he muted us. They also called me it. A lot of times they also see like the trans flag and people blame like the trans flag for it, but it is purely my voice. A lot of people don't actually look at the banners. It is purely because of my voice being androgynous. It is very intentional. It is intentional, and it is annoying and it's frustrating to deal with that. And this is not just like in video games. You also get that in other situations. I feel like people need to understand what the trans experience is looking like, how we are being treated constantly, in order to maybe understand our reactions in a better way. If we are trying to like shield ourselves from like bad situations, even if you engage in like good faith and you are just asking questions and so on, knowing how bad it is for a lot of us who don't have like the passing privileges and so on, knowing what society puts us through is beneficial in order to like understand where I am coming from. This is kind of why I post these moments. Not only, you know, do I have a lot of good interactions as well, and like fun interactions, and I can turn them into short form content that is enjoyable, or at least I find it very enjoyable. I can also highlight the frequency with how we are being perceived over and over again. If you are genuinely curious about like, oh, what are your pronouns? What do you identify as? Because, you know, non-binary people exist and sometimes it's better to ask. Of course, me personally, as like a trans woman, I would like it if people would look at me and they wouldn't have to question themselves. They would just be like, oh, looks like a woman, looks like any other woman. That would be nice. Everybody's different. Trans is a very broad umbrella term. Gender expression is like a whole another level. But it feels like, because gender is so performative, that in order for me to be gendered correctly, I need to put in the effort. And if I get misgendered, if people are asking me, if people don't know what I identify as and so on, then it's my fault because I'm not playing my part properly. And a lot of times people are like, oh, I can kind of see that you're a trans woman, but I'm going to make your life worse by attacking you and validating you. Sadly, a lot of people, a lot of trans people, especially those who are struggling with their voice and so on, and they don't meet like the expectations, they don't even want to talk. And if you're a trans woman and you put in, you know, effort to do your voice training and so on. Voice training is hard. It is difficult. I've been struggling with it for like 2 years. If you reach a point where you're being seen as like androgynous, or you're like femme presenting, but you're not being seen as like a cis woman, even if you're being seen as a cis woman, you're getting a lot of shit. But like the reactions that you're getting when people clock you as trans or perceive you as like a femboy and so on, like the sexualization, it's very common. A lot of us don't even bother speaking. And I feel like if you're playing a video game with like other people and you have to restrict yourself and you can't really like fit in, it takes away from the joy of the game. It's even worse when I'm in a lobby with other girls, because I also had like a lot of negative interactions where I started speaking and I had people be like, oh, that doesn't sound like a girl. It makes you cautious of future interactions, and this is why a lot of times when I have other women in the lobby, I'm careful. I don't speak a lot. I try to remove myself from the situation, which I don't like. But yeah, that's kind of like what I wanted to talk about. I want to give a little bit more context to these things because some people do not understand why I do what I do or why I react the way that I do.